Hello and welcome back to Brickmakers Lane. It's been a while since I've posted on here, so I thought I'd put an update of what's happened since the last posting. As you can see from the picture, the lower main lines are now ballasted and the third rail added. The viaducts have now got their card sides completed and are just awaiting brick paper and finishing off. And a few other buildings have moved on. From this perspective, you can't see so much, so let's have a little walk around and show some more details. Here we are. This is the electric depot, which I mentioned in my last post. That's now been ballasted, all in nice clean ballast with nice plain rusty rails to suggest it's just been added to an existing steam depot. The actual steam depot itself has had no changes bar the addition of 4 of these Seacraft Southern Railway water cranes, which I snaffled while I could. There's a new station on the layout. This one here was added after last Christmas. I suddenly realised that I could actually put the ends of a station here to have somewhere to store trains that are coming to and from the reverse loop. So I've got one platform made. The other one will go in from an end where the footbridge is shown here. That will be completed with a little building in front of the back seam, which will hide that line disappearing into the back seam quite nicely. This is the start of what's going to be a copy, or a fairly good copy, of the Hampton warehouse at Stewart's Lane. The building will be the size of the card area you can see on the floor. That's a floor template, and what you can see is one of the panels of the sides that I've cut out to get an idea of how big the thing is. There's about another ½ an inch or an inch to go on top of these with some more windows and details. I've had the windows specially made for me by L-Cut Creative in 0.3 MDF. They look lovely, but I only ordered 100. I think I've got to order quite a few more, but that's another little project that can be getting on with. The third rail is all done here through the station. Obviously none going up the goods line, but there's a third rail access to the loco yard. Just got to finish that off on the other side of the bridge, which we'll come to in a minute. On the front here, the viaduct is largely complete, bar some infills of the dummy arches, and also to fill the arch that actually runs through under the line. The idea is that there'll be a station based on East Brixton in this area with some canopies that will hide the exit of the line into the area behind the back seam. The walls are a little bit lower here because they've got beams that sit on top of those onto a what looks like a cast iron frame, so that's going to be interesting duplicating that, but hopefully that will look good when it's done. There's a little bit of an extension here to represent an old viaduct that was heading off somewhere that will have no track on it, but that's a nice way of doing the scenic break for this corner, which I was struggling with the beams, the girders going across these 2 bridges, so that's going to help that area. The brick papering is all largely complete here, and the deck can go back on. I had to take the deck off to get the third rail in. I realised I couldn't do that without taking that off, but it's been quite handy doing it. It's made the brick paper on the piers a lot easier, and the track when it goes back will be trying to represent the bulk rail used there, so I've cut a load of sleepers out of the Pico track, and I'm starting to install some plastic card there, which is going to hopefully make that look like a sort of fairly good representation of bulk track. Here's some of the third rail, which took quite a long time to do, but hasn't come out too badly. I think I've used over 1,000 chairs and about 50 foot of third rail at the moment. That's a job I now realise I need to do when I'm in a very good mood and with very nice clear eyes. Otherwise it's a bit of a job. The double junction here, obviously the 2 bits of track had to be taken out for this piece over here and this piece here for the same reason, to get the third rail in. That's all complete now, so these can go back in at some point. I'll probably leave this front one until I've ballasted the loco yard approach. Here we've got 3 piers, or 4 piers rather, that will hold 3 girder bridges going over the loco yard access, the reversing loop and the goods access. Decided not to go for any arches here because they're on the skew and they would have been a bit awkward, so I sort of chickened out of that a little bit. You can see here from the tops of the viaducts, some of them are done. These are two little pieces are ready to be installed once I get round to getting the other sides finished. They've had all the brick paper put on. The top has been made with 4 pieces of 0.8mm strip from Plastruct, the outer 2 pieces being quarter round, so with the quarter round each end and 2 bits in the middle it makes a nice bullnose shape. And then I've put a piece of Scale Scenes blue brick in between 2 pieces of cream brick to make a topping that just gets wrapped over, and that's come out fairly well. I've just got to do a little bit of patching in on the top here where the 2 lines join, but that's a bit of later detailing. The back part has also moved on to the same point. That just needs the arch infills doing. The big building here, I didn't quite know what to do about that, and in conjunction with the signal box on the front, which I'm making, that's based on Factory Junction, and I wanted to keep a name that was something similar, nothing too flashy, so I've decided that can be a brewery and this can be Brewery Junction. So again, this is a card structure with Scale Scenes brick paper, and the windows I've made out of some 5 thou plastic card. There's a pane inside, painting outside of a piece of clear plastic card. The silhouette portrait cut those frames rather nicely, so I've just got to finish off the assembly of all of those. I've got the corner windows ready to go, and hopefully that will make quite a nice little model. So I think it's as accurate a copy of Factory Junction as I could get, so that's quite good. You'll see here I've got all of the coaching rakes, or most of the coaching rakes out. I'm just trying to get those into some sort of order, into proper rakes before I weather them all. That's another little job. The viaduct here, this piece of viaduct was the last piece done. I need to have my wits about me and all the skills I'd learnt from the previous viaducts to do this bit, because it curves round and descends, so the viaduct's arches, and also it's not the same curvature all the way around, so the arch on the outside is slightly bigger than the arch on the inside, and then it's actually slightly bigger as it gets around the sharper part to this narrower part down here. So that took a little time, but it's complete now. The goods yard has had some carding to actually bring up the road level to where I want it, and I'm now making my mind up whether I use some of this Scale Scenes cobbled paper, or whether I put something to represent the tarmac finish, or maybe a bit of both. The stuff in the goods yard is just latest acquisitions of wagons from various places, so they just sit there until I can be bothered to put them in a box. The little piece here where the high street comes up, I've now put some polystyrene in there with the idea that that road actually starts to climb a hill, so the buildings will start to go up, and we'll see how we can get that done in the best way to make it look like the line's going back, the road is actually going into the back scene. The back scene itself, I think I've now found someone that can help me do what amounts to 2.7 metre by 200mm long photos, and I'm just going to have some sky with some clouds in. I think I did think about putting some buildings in, but I think that could be too difficult. And the other thing I'm sort of working my way around is this little piece here bothers me in that you can't really screen the lines going into the back scene. I haven't got quite enough room there, and when I designed it I should perhaps have pushed those lines back away from the board a little bit, but that would have actually restricted the yard a bit. So what I'm actually going to do is put a 2-inch extension along the front of the layout where I can just add a little bit more scenic detail, and on that 2-inch piece at this end there'll be some tall trees which will then suggest the edge of a park, but also will screen that opening. Apart from that, I don't think anything else I can report on, but I'll give you a little view down the layout this way, and hopefully it won't be quite so long before the next update. But thank you for watching.